everybody, Jennifer from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am back with another super quick project. I had a few sheets of the general store paper left, so I decided to just make a very simple folio with what I had left. So the folio is 6x8 with a 1-inch spine. On the front here I've got two of the cut aparts and then just a really neat image off of the back of one of the sheets in the collection that I've kind of crunched and distressed and torn and inked and whatnot. This is one of the tag cut aparts and then some flowers out of my stash that I'm pretty sure came from Country Craft Creations because they're $49 in Market. Okay, inside on the left hand side we've got a 5.5 by 6-inch flap. It does close with a magnet, and then this one is like 3.5 by 7. And then we have a 5x5 waterfall on top of a belly band, so you could tuck some additional photo mats underneath that. And like I said, that is held closed with the magnet. On this side, okay, I just have to say, you see this kid with the pickle? I don't know how I had not noticed him in this collection before, but this seriously cracked me up when I was starting to mat and like plan this album and and everything. And I was like, dude, that is exactly how I feel about pickles too. So there you go. What can I say? Okay, so this is magnetized. So that flap is holding this side, the right side down. Got one of the cut aparts here just as a tuck spot and some of the other cut aparts there. On the back of that, we have angled pockets on opposite sides. And they were supposed to be the same size, but then I had adjusted the sizing of this and wasn't thinking about it. So this one's slightly smaller. It's fine. And then again, just cut aparts from the collection, some of the tag cut aparts. And then this one opens up this way. And again, I've got another cut apart there with, or one of the tags with some of the cut aparts tucked in. I really didn't do anything on here because that really by itself was enough, this collage sheet out of the collection. And you open this up and we've got another pocket, and this is actually just some leftovers of the paper. But these, I love like the newsprint ones because really you could put pictures on the backs of these and just use these as your photo mats. So just a little pocket there. And then when you open this up, we've got another cut apart tucked in with a tag there and there as well. So super, super easy. I literally started this, and this included cutting it, matting, assembling it, and matting and decorating it like 2 hours total, start to finish. So super, super easy to go together. Just, simple ribbon tie closure on here. And then, yeah, whoops, that's it. So there we go. Tutorial starts next. Okay, so for our folio, you need 2 pieces of lightweight chipboard, 6x8, and 1 piece, 1x8. Okay, covered the back of all of these in tape. We are going to wrap our cover pieces first. So our paper to wrap is 8x10. We need a 1-inch spacer on each side. I'll go ahead and get the backing off of this. Maybe. Does not want to come up. Maybe. There we go. There we go. Sometimes you just can't quite grab it. Okay. And we'll do the same thing with our second piece. See, that one popped right off. It happens. Okay. All right, and for spine, the piece to wrap this is going to be 10x4. We want a 1 inch on the top. We want 1.5 inches on the side. that down. We are done with our spacers. Move that out of the way. Okay, so with lightweight chipboard is a little bit trickier to wrap. So what I'm going to do is turn that face down. And I'm going to use my bone folder to kind of run this around the outside edge of that chipboard, because this will help immensely when folding and wrapping. You can do that with the normal chipboard, it helps there too, but this just means you're not having as much, doing it this way means you're not having to put as much pressure and potentially bending your chipboard when you're trying to bend your cardstock. Okay, so bend on all four sides. Okay, and then we are going to miter. And two, when you're mitering and wrapping lightweight chipboard, you want to be very careful when you do this because it's very, very easy to accidentally cut your chipboard. Just because, again, it is lightweight. You can cut it in a normal trimmer without any kind of fancy blade or, you know, changing out to a blade just for that. So it's just something to be conscious of. Okay. All right. So I'm going to grab my glue. We're going to go ahead and wrap the ends of our spine. And since this is such a small area that I'm not going to have to do a ton of burnishing on, I'm not going to put tape on this. I will on my other pieces, but on this one I'm not going to mess with it. And here as well. Okay. All right, so then let's do the same thing with our 6x8 pieces. Okay, around and around. And around. And then we will miter. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with this one. Okay, we're going to miter this one more time. so this one I am going to go around this outside edge with the score tape. And didn't get it quite right there, but that's okay. In the end, it will be fine. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get the backing off of my tape on all 4 sides. And then we're going to come in with the glue. Okay, there's one. Let's do the second one. Okay. All right, so I've got the 2 cover pieces. Grab my spine piece. I'm going to go down the edge again with my bone folder and just kind of define where that is. I'm going to come back one more time with my score tape. Okay, so now I'm going to pull the backing tape off of one side. Got a little bit of a cramp in my hand going on today, so I apologize. Okay, and we're going to lay this on top. Slide it over and down. I'm going to turn and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so that's all good. We're going to reinforce this, and my piece to reinforce is 5 by 7 7/8. Again, the back is completely covered in tape. like to turn it sideways when I do this step, just to help line it up. Okay. Okay, so then I am going to just fold this up and over, because it is lightweight chipboard. It's a lot more forgiving. And then I do still come out here and kind of pinch to get this all settled in where it needs to be. That would be my son coming home for the day. Okay, so let me grab a few things. We'll get started on the inside. Okay, so first element that we're going to do is going to be a belly band. So I have a piece of cardstock that is 8 by 5. With the 8" along the top of your scoreboard, you're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 7.5. You can turn it and score 1/2 inch on this end as well. Either way will work. I have a flap that is 4 by 7. Okay, so with the 4" along the top, we're going to score this at 1/2 inch. I have another flap that is 6 by 6. We're going to score that at 1/2 inch. And then we have a waterfall that I've actually already scored. And I have 5 pieces that are 5 by 5.5, scored at 1/2 inch with the 5.5 inch side at the top. Okay, so what I am going to do first is I'm going to miter both of my flaps. And actually, those are both supposed to have one more score line on them. Okay, sorry about that. I was just thinking as I was trimming. Okay, so 1/2 inch and 5/8. I knew that something was slightly off on those, and that's what it was. So you're going to have 1/8 inch gusset on these because these are going to close over the waterfall. So sorry about that. Okay, so the waterfall. And then we're going to miter 2 on our corners on our belly band. Okay, so I'm going to take my waterfall pieces. I am going to fold and burnish my score lines on all 5 of them. Okay. And then I'm going to fold and burnish one of the tabs on my waterfall, or my belly band. Okay, we are going to build the waterfall on top of the belly band because this will help us get it nice and straight. Okay, I like to do mine upside down because I think it's easier to line it up. So I'm going to get glue on my first tab, and you do not miter the tab on waterfall pages. Okay, I'm going to put that right up here at the top. And there goes the cat again, because he thinks it's food time, and it's not food time for 2 more hours. Or he's telling me my son's home, which obviously I am aware of. Okay. actually, we only needed 4 of those. I was not sure. That's why I cut 5. So you actually only need 4 pages for your waterfall. Okay, which means I really should have flipped this one. Is it dry? You know what? It's fine. Normally I would have flipped this one the other way and attached the tab on top of the prior one, but that's okay. It's fine. So, first thing we need to do is fold the first score line on both of our flaps. And burnish those down. My smaller flap is going to go on the inside here. So I just want to make sure when I put this down that I'm not getting on top of my hinge, or I'm sorry, my spine. Okay, and you're just going to kind of center it top to bottom. It doesn't have to be exact. And then this one is going to come on like so. Okay. And that's just going to come to this outside edge. Okay. Once they're glued down, then we can come back and push back to get that 1/8" line to fold over for our gusset. Do that on both sides. Okay. I am going to put a magnet here. I just need to decide which way I want my flaps to go, if I want my big one on top or my smaller one. I think I do want my bigger one. However, before we put this down, we do need to mat this page. So I do have a piece of the collection cut and ready to go. Okay, I'm going to do it with just that plain green up. Okay. For crying out loud, if I could get it in here straight, huh? Okay. Then I'm going to fold and burnish that. And then this is just going to be centered right here on our page. Okay, and there we go. Let me grab magnets. So this is going to close like so. This is why we have the gussets. And I'm going to grab one of the magnets, just kind of center it up here. I'm going to get a second piece of tape because these, of course, are some different ones that I've been getting that don't have the adhesive on the back like the basic gray. Just line that there. Close this and then just push down so that it picks up the magnet. And there we go. There's our first section. Let me grab some things for our other side and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's start on some of our elements for the other side. So I've got a pocket. This is 4 5/8 by 7 1/4. I'm going to score this at 1/2 inch. Turn. Oh, I know what I was doing. 1/2 inch and 5/8. turn, half an inch, turn, half an inch, and 5/8. The flap for the pocket is 6 by 7. So with the 7" at the top, we're going to score it half an, whoops, if I can keep this from moving, half an inch and 5/8. And I know I normally do it this way, but for whatever reason, I've had an issue with the paper sliding on this, and I don't figure it out until later. Okay, so we're going to do some diagonal pockets. So this is 7 by 7. We are going to score this at half an inch on all 4 sides. And set that one aside. This piece is 3 1/8 by 4 7/8. 4 7/8 at the top. We're going to score it half an inch and 3/4 of an inch. Next is a flap 6 1/2 by 8. With the 6 1/2 at the top, we're going to score at half an inch. And then we've got another flap that is 8 3/4 by 6 with the 8 3/4 at the top. Whoops. We're going to score half an inch and 3/4. Okay. Okay. Our last piece is going to be 8 by 7. With the 7 at the top of the scoreboard, you're going to score this at half an inch and at 1 inch. Okay. So let's go ahead and miter our corners on that piece. We're going to fold and burnish. And fold and burnish, even though I really don't want to do too much with that one yet. Okay, so this is going to go down all the way to the outside edge. Okay, fold that one back out of the way. Our flap that, this one's going to go at the top. Oh my gosh, seriously, like, what is my deal today? Okay, so I'm going to turn this around. And actually, before I glue that, I'm actually going to hold it in here and make sure this closes over it the way I want it to without it being in the way. And I think I'm actually going to take some off of this. So instead of this being 6, we're going to go to 5 7/8 just to make sure this is going to fit where we want it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and miter. We've got another flap we're going to have to take a little piece off of too, but that's okay. Okay. And again, we're just going to center this at the very, very top. Okay. And then we've got another flap here somewhere. The 6 1/2 by 8. Yeah, sorry, my hand is just not wanting to cooperate with like squeezing the glue or burnishing the things. So I apologize. And this one, I'm actually going to take 1/8 of an inch off as well, just to make sure everything's going to fit. We're not going to have anything running into something. Okay. We're going to miter. we'll go down in here like so. Okay, there we go. So, oh, where's that? That's wrong. We're gonna fix that. So instead of that one being 3 1/8, the 3 1/8 part is fine. It's should be 5 1/8 by 3 1/8, not 4 7/8. So I apologize. And I know what it is. It's because I cut these before I realized I wanted one more thing in there. Okay, so 1/2 inch and 1 inch on that one. And we're going to miter. Everything opened up. And we're just going to center this one at the very bottom. Okay. All right. So that one's going to come in like that. This will come down over the top of it. Our pocket is going to go on top of this flap. Okay, so we're going to miter from the first score line, so the 1/2 inch score line, not the 5/8. On the bottom, you're going to come across like so to where the first set of score lines intersect. I'm going to fold and burnish both of my. So that's supposed to have a gusset on it as well. Because clearly, that's the whole reason I didn't record this last night, because I just knew somehow. I was like, I am going to mess this up. That also needed 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so we're going to put glue on our bottom tab. This is going to go down here at the bottom, except because I took 1/8 inch off of that, that's too big. And I promise I do know what I'm doing. We'll have to come back to that one. Okay, we'll come back to that one. In the meantime, we will do our diagonal pockets. Okay, so we have our 7 by 7 that is scored at 1/2 inch on each side. I'm going to put this in my trimmer, lining the corners up and cutting. Okay, we're going to miter and miter and miter. The first one that is still a 6 by 6 pocket is going to go on the back side of our top flap. Okay. This one we took down 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to do the same thing here. I'm actually going to do it from right there. Actually, we're going to take it down 1/4 of an inch just to make sure, because that one's easier to line up where I'm having to trim this down. So that's okay. All right, and then we will miter and miter. And then fold and burnish. And then that one is going to go on top of this flap. Okay, so this goes here. This we will put a magnet on to close that off. Let me get the pocket for this fixed. The flap for it we can fix very easily because we just need to take 1/8 of an inch off of this, which is very simple. Pocket, just because of the way it's scored, I am going to go ahead and recut. Okay, so there's score lines for that. I'm going to turn this around. I just find it easier to attach these kinds of things looking at it from this angle. Okay. That is kind of a longer flap. But you know what? Actually, I think it's going to be fine. Okay. So I'll move this out of the way for a minute. So 4 5/8 for the height of the pocket is fine. So it needs to be 7 1/8. Okay. All right. So let's try this one again. We are going to score this at 1/2 inch and 5/8 on all 3 sides. You're going to miter. And miter. And miter. And then we will fold and burnish. I think I over mitered because I got a tiny bit of a gap there, but you know what? It will be just fine. Okay, so this one is going to go down here. we go there, closes there, closes there, and then we are going to put a magnet in there. Let me grab magnets. And some tape. Okay. And there we go. And our insides are done. All right, so all I'm going to do now is just add, I think, some ribbon on the outside here as a closure, and then mat and decorate, and it's all done. And you will have seen that from the walkthrough at the beginning of the video. As always, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys stopping by and for following my channel. If you want to get notified when I post new projects, ring the bell, like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.